Hey folks, good afternoon. Today is Tuesday, I believe. Check my phone. Yep, Tuesday, July 9th, 5:35 p.m. We had appointments today. First thing, the very first appointment, we had to be in Panama City, which is southwest of us, at 9:20 or 9:40 this morning. And so we left early enough to give us an extra 20 minutes in case something happened. We get halfway there on the highway and traffic came to a standstill, and then an alert came over the phone. They had a fuel spill which led to a pretty big accident, and they had the lanes blocked, and we waited for about a half hour, wasn't going nowhere. So I had to call, and one of the appointments, the first one was my doctor's appointment, one of my doctors, and called to tell them what was going on because I've never been late to an appointment. And so they gave me a new time of 10:30, I think. So we had to turn around, turn through the median, and then head north, and then we had to go way back over to the east. It was crazy. We get over there to the next highway, and we get a half a mile from the highway. You can see blue lights at the intersection there for that highway. There was a patrolman on the highway. There was no accident, but everybody ahead of us were rubbernecking. They were sitting at the stop sign watching, trying to see what was going on, and it was a disaster. And I was getting very irritated because I am very anal about not being late, and so my blood pressure was really high. We finally made it with just a couple of minutes to spare, and I told the doctor what was going on. My blood pressure was 156 over something. It was high. I told him, I said I was not very happy with how the day went. But anyhow, we made it, and then we had to go to Kim's appointment. We couldn't leave town. We had 2 hours to wait for her appointment. And this thing, the gas mileage is way too bad to leave town to come, back to the house and then go back. There's no way we could do it. It would take $65 to $70 in gas to do that. And so we just stayed in town, walked around Home Depot, and just dream shopped, went and looked at stuff and dreamed that, wish we had a way to get it. And then we left, went to her appointment, and anyhow, came home. It rained. It's been raining. Everything's wet. I didn't ride the four-wheeler back here today because there was rain just east of us, not far at all. It rained about 10 minutes ago is when it let up, this last storm that came through. There's another one west of us. It is coming this direction, and I don't want to get back here on the four-wheeler, take the chance of getting caught in it. There is some lightning in some of this rain. I think I missed the trail I was looking for. I put orange markers up, or pink markers, on the trees, and the squirrels shoo them off. And they use that marker, that ribbon, to take into their bed as bedding. They take it all the time. So anyhow, gonna go walk around just a little bit. I'm gonna park right here, I think. Today's just been one of them days. I do not have it together. Mentally, my brain is on a different level today. I think I'm just going to block the road. Shouldn't be anybody coming down this road anyhow. All right, give me a moment, and I'm going to figure out what to bring with me. All right, I don't really have a game plan where to go. We're just gonna walk. I'm gonna walk and look. Today is it's just one of those days. We get a lot of them to where something just doesn't quite feel right. It doesn't necessarily feel bad. It just doesn't feel right. It's weird. I guess let me get. I'm gonna put the camera. I've got my chest mount. I'm gonna put the camera right here, and put my camera stick in my pocket, because I haven't opened this up back here. There's one trail going back about 50 yards, and past that it's not open. So I'm gonna put the camera to where my hands are free. And I am armed, you guys, but that's why I want to free up my hands. Just the way today feels, I want to make sure that my hands are free if I have to reach for my firearm. Yeah, it does feel, it just feels different. It doesn't feel, it just don't feel right. Please pay attention around me, you guys. Those with the big screen. If you do see anything or you hear something that I missed, please, if you don't mind, if you can give me a timestamp in what you heard or send me a screenshot of what you captured, if you'll email it to me, I would absolutely appreciate it. My email is standinggoatsrescue@yahoo.com. Right down here, I put some corn out, and this has been a week and a half ago. And I put 50 pounds of corn in here. Not, 40 pounds or not half a bag. I put an entire bag, 50-pound bag of corn out here. And I put a cellular trail camera, one that I'm doing a review on this corn. And I got absolutely nothing. There's still corn on the ground. It's still all out through here. The birds haven't touched it. The squirrels haven't touched it. No raccoons. Normally we get a ton of rabbits, an amazing amount of deer, a few bears. This area here is loaded. We came in here, Kim and I did, with a shovel, and we scooped up a large portion of this corn. We put it in a big bag, and we took the camera. It was on that tree. We took it down and we moved it to a new location and spread the corn out in front of it. In the new location, first night it sat there, a coyote came in front of the camera. But I don't know what's going on with this area. It does feel not right now. It really has a negative feeling in here. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it. But whatever it is, it's causing the animals to steer clear. I mean, you see the mountain of corn that's still there. And it's scattered. It's all out in here. If you guys can look, all the little light-colored specks, that's all corn. This whole area, I slung it all out in here. And nothing's touching it. So I don't know what's going on with that. There's still corn way out over here. Look at all that corn. I don't understand why there's nothing coming in here. This area is a heavy producer of wildlife. So a tree right here I used to hang these mineral licks. They're really sweet for the deer, and we would tie them up right there. And once you're in the ladder stand, this was back before or when we stopped hunting this area. You could sit in that ladder stand, and the deer would come through right here, and they'd go right out in front of it. And we were hunting it until all these does and these newborn babies started showing up, and these young bucks. So we stopped hunting it because there's such a heavy traffic of deer coming through here. And so we just used it as a safe zone for the deer. And we no longer hunt it. We quit hunting this a year and a half ago. But they would come from back there, and then right through there is a trail. They would come in right there. And there's the ladder stand. It was a very productive area. But when all these babies showed up, we just stopped hunting it. Yeah, it feels strange in here. It's a broken tree. Oh, it just broke off and sitting there. That's neat. Mother Nature does some strange stuff. There's a broken limb. That one's still green. It's got leaves on it. It's been broke off. Right there. Something's coming through here. Breaking these little trees off. A bear, maybe? I don't even see any deer tracks in here. This is normally beat out through here. The deer would come right through right there. You could make out the old trail, but it's covered in pine straw and there's no tracks. This is strange. I don't get it. I don't know why it's that way. Even if there's a predator like a bear or coyotes in an area, the deer will still come through. They're just on high alert and they do not waste any time. They don't stick around. But we're not getting nothing. Within, from where my truck is, there's a total of there's 3 trail cameras within 50 yards of my truck. And we quit getting deer on them about 2 months ago. This is the old deer trail. You see it right here? It comes down and it turns and it goes up to right in front of that stand. This is an old scrape. This was from last year. Last hunting season. This buck we targeted, tried to get him, and he did come in one time, but I had a shot on him, but it wasn't a shot I was comfortable with, so I let him walk. And he's just an 8-point, but he's an old deer. He's a big, heavy deer. He's got scars on one side. I don't know if he's been fighting, if something grabbed him, or if he was shot at one time. He's got a big L-shaped scar. It's probably that tall and about that wide. Or it's shaped like a number 7. And it's right on his side where his lungs would be. It's a big scar. And we call him Scar because of that. He's got that scar, and then on his back leg, the opposite side, he's got a whole scar about the size of a US $50 coin. He's a pretty buck for Florida. I know you guys up north get these, a 200-pound deer is a baby for you all. Down here, when they hit that 180-pound mark, that's a big buck. And this guy, he's somewhere between, I would guess, 180 and 190. This is the old trail right here, deer trail. This is where they're coming from the back of the property. And it's not beat out anymore. I don't understand what's going on with that. Very weird. I think that's an owl or a dove, I think. It doesn't quite sound like an owl. It doesn't quite sound like a dove, so I'm not sure. It's back that way if the mic's picking it up, it's that way. You hear it? It's not close. Sounds like it's a few hundred yards away. It's got to be a bird. There's a hawk. It's a young bird there. I'm going to open my map again. I don't think it's tracking me. It wasn't showing that it was tracking me, but I want to see. Nope, it's still not tracking me. That's me right there, that blue dot. Now I'm at 40%. I was at 23%, now it's at 40. But it's not tracking me. It should have tracked me. We parked right here. And we walked through here and up here, over, and then right to here. Now we're going back here to this road right here. The road's that way, but I want to walk over here. Going to be putting a road in over here, a four-wheeler trail to begin with. And then over time we'll widen it out so we can drive it. It's got a creepy vibe in here right now. I'll be going back to the truck before it gets dark. I'm not going to be out here at sundown, not with it filming like this. Sun's up there. It's up pretty high, so we're good. This is the deer trail right here. This one I have not seen. It goes through right there. You can sort of make it out faintly right on this side of that clump of grass. It goes right through right there. And there's one right here too. Right through. But they're not showing any signs of activity on them. I don't know why it's like this. It doesn't make sense to me. You guys would be stunned if I showed you
how many pictures of deer that we were getting just in any 24-hour period on any camera out here. There are so many. This property it's almost so many deer that you can call it an infestation. It is just loaded with deer. That's one of the reasons we like it so much. Ow. It's a beautiful area. It's full of wildlife. Ow. That briar got me. Is that a stick stuck in the tree? In the ground? Yep. Oh, can't quite get it up. It's thunder. I don't guess I've walked in right here yet. There's so much of this property we haven't been through. There's a lot of it that remains undiscovered by us. See, that's the kind of thing that I find odd. See the pine limb right here? It's just a limb. It's got dirt and mud on the end, and there's a hole right there, like something was digging in it. It's just a little on the weird side. You'll find them sometimes where they fall out of the tree and they'll stick in the ground because they're falling from such a height. The ground's soft. And every once in a while, we've only found maybe eight or nine of them on this property. But you'll find a tree, a small one like this, small diameter like this thing, and it'll be out of the ground and the roots will be sticking in the air. The top will be shoved down in a hole. We haven't found any big trees like that. They've all been small, but they're definitely too big for a person to do. There's no way you could pull that up by your hand unless you're one of these giant powerlifting people. The tree broke right there. That right there's a huckleberry. That little one right here. It's been broke off too. I was just looking at this opening right here. I could put a ground blind back here. I think one of the roads right there. We're having problems now with trespassers. I don't want to give them a tree stand to hunt out of. We could put a ground blind right here though. Yeah, we can camouflage it out. This would be perfect. And what we got hanging right here. Smells like fish. It was hanging off this limb up here. Oh, sorry, turn the camera. It's hanging off this limb. I think it's some type of algae or mold or something. I don't know what you call it. Yeah, I think we'll put a blind right here. Let me see how far we are from that stand. We have a ladder stand. There's a big buck scrape through there. There's another one straight through there. Looking at that big holly right there's in the way. Yep. Well, there's a big flower pot. We found a bunch of them last year where people were sneaking in here and growing marijuana. We took them out. There's another one right here. But there's two of them right there. Sheriff told us that if we find any more pots and they got stuff growing in them, to call them. Don't touch them. He said just call them and they'll come out and do an investigation, and they will place some cameras out and try to catch who's coming in, who's growing them. Because if we get caught with somebody else's stuff on our property, it could really cause us some heartache. I like this spot right here. I could put a blind right here. I'm going to mark this spot right here too. Let's see, where am I at? I'm right here. 4 trail is right through there. Let's see. Ground. Blind area. This area right here, we've caught so many deer coming through here. We've seen them, but at the time we weren't hunting, or we didn't have a muzzle loader in hand or something, or we was just on the floor riding around, and we'll see them coming through. Oh, big spider right there. All right, buddy, I'm gonna have to. Oh, gotta come through right here because I can't get around the other way. Sorry. I had to mess your nest up, your web. I'll have it built back in an hour or two. This area right here, if you go right through there, it takes you to an area where they're bedding up. And we've got one big buck coming through there, and he's got a lot of these saplings where he's tore them up with his horns and he's killed them. He was sure working them over last year, but we just could never get up on him. He outsmarted us. Every time he come through, he'd outsmart us. There's like a trail right there. Oh, get off me, buck. Oh, look at this big pine. Oh, there's no cover on him. Gee whiz. I wish we had one of these bigger pines like that one right here in this holly. That would be ideal. This one right here would be perfect. It might work, maybe. Got a big blind spot. But we got a somewhat of a shooting area right there. Through here, a bow spot. Yeah, that would be hard to hunt. You get spotted. I'll put it on my map just in case. Figure out where I'm at. Right there. Okay, got that one marked. I don't know if I'll put a stand up right here or not, but I like this area. I like this spot out here because I'm pretty sure they're coming through right here. I need to bring a camera out, see what's coming through. We don't use bait. We don't bait them up with corn or anything like that in the areas where we hunt. We do it before season starts. We'll bring corn out, we'll put it up in some areas that we're unsure of, like this one. We'll put a pile of corn out, we'll put a camera or two up on it and see what caliber the deer are that are coming through. And if they're decent, then we'll end up putting a stand up. Then when season starts, the corn's gone, and I'll catch them when they're coming through. I want to go down through there, but it takes you right into that bedding area, and I don't want to go into it. I need to go this way. Oh, there's briars on everything, and I don't have my cutters. Oh, there we go. It was kind of simple. A little bit simple. Oh, this is pretty in here. Oh, these deer are going to be passing all through this spot. There is no doubt. The road is right there. I got to get some two-man tree stands put up because Rosie's going to be hunting with me this year out here. It'll be a little easier since we're living right here. She gets home from school. We can shoot out here before she has to get ready for bed and catch the afternoon hunt. Got a big pine right here. This one right here, well, that right there, that's a nice tree. It's a big one. But it's in the open. That burn it. It's definitely in the open. Figures. It's always my luck. There's another big one back through there. I'm just looking for one that's got some cover around it. We can put a stand up and not have to worry with the deer spotting you as soon as they come in. I just seen a big tree through there. Now I'm not seeing it. Turn my head away for a second. There it is, back over there. Let's just see what this looks like right quick like. That one's got cover. I don't know what kind of shot we'll have from it. It does have cover. This one right here. Forest trail is right there. It'd be an easy walk. Oh, wow. That area right through there is where the deer travel through. I got a short ladder I could put up right there and take some of these limbs here and pull over in front of it. All right, I'm going to mark this one. Here, stand by. All right. I just ate a gnat. I don't have my water bottle. That's nasty. Sorry. Something went in my mouth. I think I bit him. I could feel pieces in my mouth like I broke his legs off. I know that's disgusting. I'm sorry. Oh. I still got pieces in my mouth. I gotta get some water out of the truck. Give me a second. I'm gonna get my water bottle. I'm gonna rinse my mouth out. It still tastes bug legs. Glasses got sweat on them.
Sorry, I gotta take care of this. I wanted to bring up something. This is for kind of for everyone, I guess. Oh, this is not working. I'm making it so much worse. Well, that'll have to work. I had several years back. I met a man, and he had. They came up on some gigantic human-like footprints on their hunting lease, and this fella's 70. Oh, I don't remember. I want to say 73 years old. I just ran into him 2 days ago. I haven't seen him in about a year and a half, and just as nice and polite as he can be, and he's got an amazing family. His wife is actually part of our family here, our YouTube family. And just, he's a great guy. And I'm not going to give his name because I don't have permission to. But he found them tracks, and they were alongside a small ditch. And then they went up a little hill into the forest. He went back, and one of his hunting buddies is a pastor from a local church, and he got his pastor and their other hunting buddy, who is a retired lieutenant for the Air Force, I think, one of the branches of the military. They went back in there, and they come up on them tracks, and all three of them together, and they followed the tracks up into the timber, and then they got spooked and they left. And one of the things that he was talking about, not 2 days ago when I seen him, but a year and a half ago or so, one of the times, we've talked many times, but one of the times was that he was at that point that so many of us have been at. Who do you talk to? Who can you talk to? You tell someone, if they do not have an open mind, they are going to, you're going to be the target of ridicule. And he experienced it. I've experienced it several times. Many of you have experienced it. And it's crazy to think, the world we live in, the people around us, they are so dumbed down by what's being fed to us, what's being put into our food, what's being put into what we drink, the medications we take, the preservatives that are in everything. That stuff is dumbing us down to the point that a large portion of society, I would say 80%, isn't open to anything outside of the norm. They have become followers, sheep. And the world that we live in is really small when it comes to the point where you've encountered something supernatural, paranormal, something out of the ordinary, and you bring it up and you get bashed. You're hit from all sides. And it's the world this bug's driving me crazy. This world that we live in. But if you go out, I'm trying to think of an example, and I just don't have one. But say you live in a like a gated community, house on top of house, little 20-foot side yards, and you and your significant other get into a fight. You've never been in an argument. 20 years of marriage, you never had a problem. You end up having a fight. It goes from the bedroom to the living room to the front yard. All right. You call your significant other out of anger. You call them you call them a piece of trash. One neighbor that knows you, one friend that sees you or hears you say that, they're on the phone calling all the rest of your friends. They don't second doubt that person. So and so, and just as an example, Bob and Nancy are fighting, and Bob just called her a piece of garbage and got in his truck and peeled out down the road. Well, that friend calls another friend. Man, you ain't gonna believe what Bob did to Nancy. And it just takes off like wildfire. They're told one time and they believe it and they run with it and tell everybody else. You get 1,000 people that are seeing these creatures, Sasquatch, these wild people, these werewolf things, UFOs, aliens, ghosts, demons. The list is endless, but you get 1,000 people that have seen it. How many of those people have convinced one person that what they seen was true? They don't believe them. Nobody believes it because society is dumbed down. They are trained to accept normal, here and now reality. If it's bad, you believe it. If it's good, blow it off. And it's irritating because this friend of mine, he ran into the same issue. His wife believes him, and very blessed to have a woman in his life like that, and she's blessed to have him. They're wonderful people. But outside of that, he doesn't have anyone. His friends don't believe him, and people that have also witnessed it, they don't want to talk about it. And it's that subject is either the center of attention for ridicule, or it's that shutdown topic. You bring it up, and the others that have experienced it, they just shut down. They don't want to talk about it. And it leads to more questions. Why? Why is it that way? You have a brother or sister, a blood relative that's seen something out of the ordinary, and they tell you, and you don't believe it. And the large majority of us have done that. I've done that, where my youngest sister telling me things she's seen years ago before I ever had an encounter. Not Sasquatch that she's seen, but demonic beings. And I heard her. I heard what she said, but it came in one ear and out the other and was gone. It was not reality for me back then, and I understand it. I don't know why people are doing that. I don't know why I did it back then. I don't discount nothing no more. But what I'm getting at is, if you have a family member, if you've never experienced anything, they confide in you with something that they've experienced, please don't blow them off. When I had the encounter, the people I tried to talk to, I was laughed. The biggest thing that I heard personally was, what kind of drugs were you on? What were you drinking? I want some of that. Making it a joke. And I wasn't joking about it. I was very serious. It ruined my life for a long time. And my sister, who I'd give anything for. She's my hero. I love her tremendously. She didn't believe me either. And she laughed and wanted to know, what I was smoking or what I was taking. And later in life, it's strange. She got to where she was believing me somewhat. She wasn't on board with it fully. And then about 5 years ago, her son, him and his buddies, my sister is Christian, her son is Christian. No tobacco, no drugs, no alcohol, nothing. These are just straight up salt of the earth people. And her son and his buddies went camping on a river. I don't remember where it's at. I think it's south of Marianna, Florida, between Marianna and Weewahitchka, I think, but I could be wrong. They had a fire. They had a tent set up near the river. They hear something hollering and just bellowing across the river, and they were close to the river. They were quite close. This large figure, it was at night, bails off in the water and swam across the river to them, making all kinds of noise. It comes out of the bank and it's storming toward their camp area where they were at. They bailed. They ran and jumped in the truck and they left. They came back the following day because they left. The tent was wide open. The air mattress had rifles on it, loaded rifles that were hunting. They left everything. The loaded guns on the tent with the curtain, the window, the door part, wide open. Their food, their coolers, their radio, everything they brought, they left. They went back the following day, and he went into they thought their stuff would be stolen and their camp would be ransacked, and it wasn't. Everything was in place. He calls me and says, explain what happened. They did not think nothing about Sasquatch at all. And he said, there's these crazy divots in the ground. I said, what do you mean divots? He said, yeah, I'm standing here looking at one now. And I said, what do they look like? He said, they're divots in the ground. So he took a couple of pictures with his phone, and he's tall. His dad's tall. I mean, they're up. Both of them are approaching 7 foot. They're really big people. He has a 13 shoe, I think, 13 or 14. And he sends a picture with his foot next to one of these divots. And when he sent it, I didn't even have to blow it up. As soon as I received the picture, I was like, holy cow. And I called him and said, that's not a divot. That's a footprint. And he wasn't seeing it. So I zoomed in on that picture and I outlined it with a yellow outline. The toes, I outlined it just beyond the edges of the actual print. You know, if the print were like this, I didn't do an outline close. I did it way out to the sides around the whole foot. And I sent it to him and his jaw dropped. He said, oh my God, I see it. Well, then the three of them get to looking, and these footprints are all over their campsite. That thing went all around their camp, checking their stuff out. Didn't mess with nothing. He gets home, tells his mama, you know, what. Well, he told her the night they left. And they thought it was some crazy guy or a bear or something, but it's hollering at him, yelling, bellowing, making all kinds of noise. Well, he goes home and tells his mom. She calls me, and I've already talked to him. I knew what was going on at that point. And his mom calls me and says, yeah, you remember you was telling me what you ran into in Mariana? I said, yeah. And she said, did you hear what happened to my son? I'm not going to give his name, you guys. This is my nephew, and I will not put his name out there. But anyway, I said, yeah. She said, it was a Sasquatch. Did you see the pictures of the footprints? I said, yeah, I seen them. You know, they're very, very clear. This was a grassy area. They had prints in the sand too, crystal clear prints. It was in a grassy area just off the bank of the river. And the ground was depressed that deep. I mean, it sunk. That thing would have had to been, I would guess, 800, 900 pounds. About a 19-inch foot, and it just smashed into that ground, that hard ground. There were no other footprints on the ground anywhere. From the three boys or young men, they weren't boys, these are young men. All of them, you know, anywhere from 160 to 200 pounds, these are grown men. None of them left footprints except in the sand and where they went to get in the truck. But this thing had very visible, very clear foot impressions. Well, they were telling their friends what happened to them, what they encountered, and what do you think the first thing is they got? Ridicule. What were you smoking? And it's a shame it's that. You end up going to court for something you're accused of. If there's one witness, just one, you get sentenced. The entire jury believes everything that was told against you, whether it's the truth or not. If there's one person that says, hey, I seen it, without evidence, if he claims to have seen it, you're going to jail. Why is it not that way with these other beings, these other creatures, demons, ghosts, all this other stuff? Why isn't it that way with people who are encountering them? I don't get it. I don't understand why. I think a lot of it is part of the elite, the governments, the elite, those that are over the government, them trying to keep everything under wraps. Dumb down the sheeple, dumb them down, and bang it in their head. None of this other stuff is real. It don't exist. All right. Most of you already believe that, and I do too. I'm right there with you. But it gets to, for me personally, why? Why are they working so hard to cover it up? What are these people profiting from by keeping this stuff under wraps? Many of you have expressed what you believed that it would be like with Sasquatch. People believe that they're part of the Nephilim or the Raphaim, part of the giants, the fallen angels. If that's the case, then it would prove the Bible to be true, and I'm sure the governments don't want that, because if that part of the Bible is true, then who's to say all of the Bible's not true? The government will lose their power, their authority, if that were to happen. But I don't know. It's just a question for all of you. Why would the governments of the world work so hard? Not of the world, of our country especially, and I think Canada. I'm not so sure though. But the USA, they strive to keep all of that stuff hush-hush. People that have been attacked, whether they did something wrong or not, they were attacked by Sasquatch people or these other things. When they go to the hospital, if they live through it and they're telling their story, they're shut down immediately. It was a bear. That was a bear that picked that stick up and threw it at you. That was a bear that chased you down on 2 feet and slapped you with his hand. You ain't got no claw marks, but that was a bear. Why are they doing that? What are they getting out of keeping it quiet? What are they benefiting from? And that's just something that has bothered me since 2012. I don't know that I'll ever get the answer. I hope I do, but I am just fascinated, very interested to hear your thoughts on it. When it comes to processing stuff like that mentally, you guys are so far ahead of me. I'm at the bottom of the pile when it comes to thinking things out like that. I just don't have that ability, that capacity, but you all do. And I would love to hear your thoughts, your input on it. Guys, I don't normally read the comments because I have to respond. It's something within me and it drives me crazy if I don't. Our brother Don Moore helps me. I can't even express how much help he's been to me. It's been insane what he's done to help me and help all of us here. He handles the comments for me when he has time. I have never asked him to stay on top of all the comments. I will never ask that of him. But this video here, I will definitely be reading the comments, and what I want to know is what you guys' thoughts are on why all of this is being kept from us. Why is it being kept secret? What do you think's going on? Guys, I'm going to get out of here. It's starting to get dark. It's getting late. I'm down to 1% of my battery. DJI Osmo Action 4. DJI cameras are awesome. But I love you all. God bless you. Have an amazing night, and I will certainly see you soon. Trying to get set up where we can do a live show. Hopefully that'll happen very soon. This weather's kind of messed me up with cutting hay and getting hay loaded up. But
We got about 12 rolls done now at the house. 5 are rolled, the rest of it's loose hay because of the rain, and we got to go get more tomorrow. But anyway, I haven't had a lot of time. But we will be finishing up the hay tomorrow, hopefully, and I will be doing a live show. That is absolutely coming. The few nights that I had planned on doing it, it just didn't work out for me. We have the grandbaby some nights. She's 3. She's very loud, and there's no peace and quiet until about 8:30 or 9, and 8 o'clock is normally my bedtime. But we'll make it happen. Make it happen soon. But anyway, thank you guys again. Y'all have an amazing evening. I love you all. God bless you. Be kind. Be safe in whatever you do. And be blessed always. If there's anything that I can do for you, if you need my help, if I'm able to help you, I'll absolutely do my best. My email address is standinggoatsrescue@yahoo.com, and that'll be the easiest way to contact me. If you have a story of your own, an encounter story, something that happened to you, and it does not have to be Sasquatch. I mean, absolutely anything out of the ordinary. And if you have something you'd like to share with us here, please reach out to me. If you'd like to tell it yourself on a live show, reach out to me, and we'll figure out how to make that happen. We can bring you on and let you tell your story. But we are definitely interested in hearing everyone. You know, we're not going to knock anyone out. We do our best while we're here. You know, it's kind of a duty to help one another. But anyhow, I'm going. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.